just got a little bit further. I've got some more boarding down. I've put polyfiller in at the far end there where it joins up, just a slight slope now. I used a bit of 5mm MDF to go up to that 9mm and then put polyfiller in, so it's just a gentle slope. Hopefully shouldn't cause a problem. So what I'm doing now is I'm just doing both sides. Again, just a newspaper. I am dipping it in PVA and water mix. I know it'll take longer to dry, but it dries firmer then. Put that all down the sides for the banking. Here we go, reaching over again all the time. What I'm going to show you then is I got some mud rock on eBay. These are, I know they're shorter rolls, but well, they're longer rolls, but they haven't got the width. But 8 rolls for £4.50. I think that's a good buy. So even if you have to double it up to cover the surface, it's a lot cheaper. I was paying £3.50 a roll for that other. What I do is, as I showed you before, just dip it in water and then cover the paper. And that then is your banking on the sides when it all dries up. Again, we're also waiting for stuff to dry here. And somebody gave me a tip. He said, of course with mud rock you get a bit of a, doesn't get completely covered, but if I'm doubling it up it will. But then, just to hope you can see this, I'm just using kitchen span scrubber. Just go over the top like that and it'll spread the plaster of Paris more, so as you get all those little indentations filled. If I painted it, put your grass on like, it'd be better still. But just thought I'd show you that. I'm going to continue with this now, and I'll show you later on when I'm getting here finished. I'm going to put some of that track down. That's the banking done now on either side, so it'll again waiting for drying. When that's dried, then I can paint it and then add the grass flocker, a bit of brown for the rocker. But it shouldn't be too bad then. Think about starting laying some track later on this next week. Again, just to speed things up a bit, going spraying this second brush paint to finish it. Oh, the tin's run out now. You can see what I've been doing. More tin paint needed tomorrow. As I've said before, you really should paint it down brush, but that banking that I did, I showed you, it's dry now, so I'm just going to spray some PVA on it, and then we'll add the grass. Again, you want to use 2 or 3 different blends of grass. Oops. I always, again, using the teak strainer. Just doing a little bit at a time here, and again, as I say, different blends of grass. This is burnt grass, the other was what they call the ordinary green turf. You can see now why I said you better painting first, because if I painted that all green I wouldn't have had to put so much grass on, but I put a bit of spring grass on top now just to get a bit of colour. Maybe a little bit of some more of this darker brown. I'll just put some of the edges. job to get that done there. I just have to use a puffer bottle on this other side. But anyway, that's just to show you. I got myself a new bottle as well for spraying PVA. Give it another spray over the top. And again, we play the waiting game. I've just finished it off. Honestly, I'm going to have to leave it till tomorrow now to dry. I was just going to mention, when you're buying these spray paints, I'm using Umbro. Use the acrylic, it dries a lot faster, as you know. If you get the enamel paint, it takes ages to dry. Maybe a lot better with this. They're selling it UK about £4.50 a tin. Just another bit of an ongoing change I'm doing. I've just put that bank in to go back that little bit further, so as I can get that shed in there and it's not too close to the water. And then I've put a piece of wood in down there, as you can see, because I'm going to put these cottages on there, and I just want to have it looking as though it's just raised that bit and sloping down. So all we do is put a piece of wood there, put some roll up newspaper all the way around, and then again use this modelling rock. And when this again is dried, we can paint that up. I'm going to have to change this road now. Obviously the road's going to have to come further down here, but I've just been laying a bit of track just down there to see. As you can see, a bit of track down there. Well, I've got 4 tracks to come down. I've bags of room really, so my road can come a lot further down. But I'll show you this when I've got it got that finished, and you can see then that I'll have plenty of room, and it just looks better to be elevated that little bit. Well, we've got a little bit more done now. I'll put this wall in round. It's all to be grassed now. As you can see, I did that elevated section there for these 2 cottages. I used these on my layout before, so obviously when I pulled them up and marked them a bit, but I'm going to fix them down later. I've got to put some lights inside before I fix them. So obviously what you do is, I'm going to drill through there, put my lights in, put them back on. But what I was just going to say to you is, they always look, unless you actually put something round the edges, they don't look right. What I'm going to say was a bit of PVA. I'll just show you, but I'm not going to do it because I have to fix the lights. And same with that grass, you can put the grass, blow the grass on round. You see what I'm saying? If you put that round the edge, it looks more natural. Another thing I did before, and I think looks better, a bit of PVA, mixed PVA on the roof, and just sprinkle some of that grass on, and it gives it that effect, you know. Looks that bit better. Anyway, I'll just spray this and then I'll come back. Off. Really, I should have painted that first, but anyway, I've just sprayed that with PVA mix. Get the grass on. I'll go over it again when it's dried. But this is the bit I wanted to show you, which you need to do, because again, if you've got walls stuck there, it doesn't look right unless you've got grass growing right up to it. I'll ever put my puffer bottle. Right, so what we do is, see, I've got the Gauge Master puffer bottle with some grass in now. You can see what I'm saying, you get the effect of the grass growing up the wall, well, moss or grass. You're not getting a bare edge. I'll not waste film, but I'll go round. What you might have noticed there, I did a little fish pond last night, just a bit of plaster of Paris, build a bit round, paint it blue. Again, I'm waiting for that scenic water coming again, as I'm doing all at once. What I've done is, I've used some of that plastic card, you know, you buy the sheets of that cheap plastic card, put that down. There's a paving area. I'm going to put some street lamps in, and then I've used that subterranean. It's again by Woodland Scenics. It's paving tape, and I've put some of that around the edge. Of course, that's got to be painted as well. But it just gives you another idea of what you can do. I've not used my normal Metcalf buildings, which I've plenty, but these scale deal ones are so nice these days. Makes the job a lot easier. I've got my garage there. I'm going to put my garage will go in there. But I'll get all this grassed up, and then we'll go stage. Right, well, I've got that done now. As you can see, I've grassed right up to the wall. There's a lot of things to do, like I've got to paint that gate again now. Take this tape up. Probably have to paint that road again. It's second or third time, but you can see how it's looking. And then what I've done is I put a bit of that fine gravel down, just to make it look like a path coming from the doors. And I say I want to finish around the edges then. I'll get those lights on first. But you can see it don't look so bad then when it's done. So we have to do this road again. But we got that out coach out, so I think that's one of Pico's. You make them, it's a kit for them. I'm waiting to Deb's Cafe. That is on the old layout, so I put that in there. So still just got a step further. It's Wednesday afternoon now. I put this Jarvis walling down. I had it on the old layout, so I thought I might make use of it. You can buy them online, I think they're about £1 a strip. But what I want to do is always put grass edging up so as it finishes it off. I'll just show you what I mean. Put the PVA mixture down, put some tape down there, and then back to the oak puffer bottle. See what I mean? Bring the grass up to the edge of the road. And then again, when that's dry, pull that up. I'll not waste more film. Oh, I'm going to mention that E to Z water. Well, it did come. As you can see, that other half there is alright. But it does say on the instructions, do not overlay. In other words, don't put another layer on top of the other. I did do, and it did make a mess. It cracked a bit. So again, I've done what I said before. The alternative, I put some polyfiller down. You can see it's a bit rough, obviously, because I had to chip the E to Z up. I've painted it now, and I'm going to do 2-3 coats of varnish on top of that, so hopefully it'll come up not looking too bad. Right, well, I've taken the masking tape off now. As you can see, it puts a nice edge on that walling. I suppose I'm going to have to finish up painting the road again, but never mind, 2 or 3 coats does it good. I've put my hole there for the house light. I think I've shown you these before, these little 12 volt transformers. You can get them most places. I think them telephone chargers, there's a load of them knocking about and you can get them cheap enough. And what I do is I use either LEDs or grain of rice. I'm waiting for some LEDs to come actually. But I've got a grain of rice here, you can just see. Just testing it on these wires, and what I'll do is I'll put that in the hole there, run it underneath. I'll run a few. I'll have some street lights to go on, so I'll run them all off. I can run with LEDs. You can run a lot. With these grain of rice, I think you can run about 10 or 12 off one 12 volt transformer. But I'll get that done and I'll show you what it's like when we've done. I'll do both them houses and then I'll show it again. Right, just to show you what I've done. I'll put them 2 grains of rice bulbs in, put a bit of blue tack there just to stop them sliding down, and I put the cottages on. Unfortunately they're both red lights what I've got, but pretend it's fire it's going or it's a red lamp shop. But there you go, it adds a bit of colour to it. Now what I can do now then is start putting that edging around the bottom of the cottages. I say you just need to do it. I'll do it with. You see what I'm saying? I'll get some PVA now and stick all that round. I'll come back again later. But, I've run them two, both them down into one connector, and I say I shall do the street lights. I'll run them all into the same connector, and I'll have a buzz line going round for my light. Right, well I've just been putting some of this track down. I'm starting to put it down anyway. With this track layer which I mentioned earlier on. It comes in a roll and it's sticky on one side. Well, I found the easiest way to do it is cut the length to the length of the track. I'm using the Pico Flexi track. Cut your length, which I've already done there, as you can see I've lined it up. And you place the track on top of the track layer. This is just to get the measurement. It's a bit sticky, your fingers stick to it. Right, as you can see that's the position I want to be. So then I'll lay the track on top of it, press down, turn it over. You can see this, I don't know. Turn it over and press it down. Peel off the back. The back isn't sticky, but I've got much fingernails left these days. Once can get it. There you go, it's coming. Right, peel that off. It makes it flexible then. It's not sticky on this back side, on the other side. Peel that off. Then it's flexible, you see. Well, I'm going to just put a curve on there. Right. Well, I use copy decks. I'll put a couple of pins in as well, but it says to pin down, but copy decks will hold that, and the track's sticking to that that track layer. I know it's not 100%, but by the time I put ballast on it will be. So I'll just put my copy decks down. This is good stuff, this. I use it for laying carpets. The beauty of it is if you get, as you want to pull your track up again, you can get a knife underneath, and it's usually quite possible. And once about half an hour dry, you won't see it then. Right, connect that track up. Not as good with my eyesight as I used to be. I've got a little bit of a gap there, but it don't matter, because what I do is I cut the sleeper off. Right. I don't know whether you can see that alright, yeah. And what I'm going to do then, just to secure it that bit better, I'll just put a couple of track pins through. And I say with copy decks it'll hold it, and this stuff, by the time I've put my ballasting on, it'll all be glued down. I use the track pins. I see a lot of started using blue tack, but it don't look right. You need one of them punches as well. There's two ways using MDF. It's hard board. Should have drilled a bit more down. What I can do then, where there's that gap, I'll just sleep up. When you want something you can't find it, just hold on a minute. Yeah, what you do is cut the sleeper off, cut the shoes off, sleeper shoes. It's better doing it with a knife, with a sharp knife, you know, a modelless cutting knife. But these are pretty good actually. Well, when you've got that off, you can just, where that gap is there, a lot of people don't bother up joins, but it don't look right, does it? It just fills that in. And what we've got now is, that's glued down. That'll be in another video now. But that is sticky, all that. So, according to this, you then underlay stuck to the side of the track, which is then pinned to the board in the usual way. A bead of Copydex or Zimmer glue is run down each edge before covering your chosen ballast chippings and tamping down. So you can use a bit of Copydex on the track when you on the edges there. So Hassel ballast, I'll do it later and show you. I'll ballast that and use a bit of Copydex, or even PVA can use. Just to tighten it down. I thought actually I was buying, when I saw the advert, I thought this comes with ballast on, but it doesn't. It's just sticky. But it's also acting as an underlay for the track, because as I say, because I've used MDF, it can be very noisy when the train's running on. So you've got an underlay now and something for your ballast to stick to. Right. We're still doing a lot. I'll finish this off later on tonight, showing you how far I've got so far, and then I think the next one will be the one showing the ballasting. So far we haven't done so bad. We've got this little scene up now with the shops. I've still got to put the lights up, put lights inside the shops. I've actually just testing on this bit of track I've put down, which is dried now. We've got the lights on in the two cottages there. The canal, well, I don't like saying it, but I wasn't happy again, so I chipped it all out. The E to Z, replastered it, painted it, waiting for that to completely dry. It's not so bad now, it's dry more or less. But I'm going to redo it again with that E to Z. I prefer it, but as I say, I slipped up. I laid it one layer on top of another, which it says you shouldn't do. But anyway, that's me. I like to, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. But as I say, you can see this little scene now. It's coming on very well, isn't it? I've loads and loads to do yet, but it doesn't look too bad now. As I say, I want to get this track done down here, just to iterate on what I've used. For that grass effect, you need 3 or 4 different shades to get the effect, and the paints as well. But I used it's gauge marks, but I think others do it, the spring grass for the lightness, longer. I've got the Woodland Scenics blend at Turf. You can buy that green grass most places. I've not got a packet, but there's some burnt grass there as well. But I sprinkle a bit of all in just to give it that different coloured effect. And I say it hasn't come too badly. This is stuck down well now. I'll have a go at ballasting that next. But I say it's probably going to be next week now. I'll get a bit more of that tack down before I start ballasting and try and finish that canal off. Right, I'll try and put this lot together. Just hope I aren't boring you all with, I say it's a bit slow as my progress, but you can see where we're going now. One other thing I bought them a while since, the little lifebuoy rings. Oops, lifebuoy rings. I've got a packet for next to no. Just make some cardboard squares, painted them red and put them on. I think it's plastic sticks, and then just stuck them in, and they come out well then for lifeguards. Lifebuoys rather. Right. Try and make something out of this lot.